All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development 1100 C# programming class, I've been doing a series of introductory videos based on the textbook for the class, which is Murachs C# 8th edition. I'm in the middle of Chapter 12 as we're going into object-oriented programming. Now we're going to talk about constructors. A constructor is what's called when an object gets created. If you create if you create a new class and you don't create a constructor, one like this gets created for you. What that means is that it'll automatically set the code to the three fields in there. Code, since it's a string, empty string. Description, since it's a string, empty string. Price, since it's a decimal, to 0.00m. Here's another one. So we're going to add another constructor in here. So we're going to say public product. So for this constructor, you have to pass in all three things. Move this over just a tad. I screwed this up, so let's fix it. All right. And I'll use what they've got. That's fine. Oops. So they're going to make two new products. So I'm going to say product 4 or 3 equal, and we will put in here new product. Let's not use the same names that they have. So let's put in here PHP, which is another programming language, Murachs, PHP, and MySQL, and we'll make that, I don't know, $66.59. Then we'll create another product. And that'll be equal to new. We'll just use that one that they've got there. And we'll say here, this one will be called HTML/CSS. And it will be Murachs HTML/CSS. And the price will be $55.55. All right, so I'm going to put all this stuff into my program. And it should go in fine with no errors unless, as I always seem to do, I have mistyped something. So here's our two products. Let's add the other two below them. All right. Well, as you can see, it looks like I've screwed up, as I always do. So let's do this, Z. All right. So where do we got these here? Product 1, product 2. Let's just do it like this. Let me grab here. First of all, let me grab this. That's why it's screwed up. And we have to put this right underneath our other constructor. We have a constructor with nothing in it. That'll go into our product file. There's our empty constructor. So underneath that, we're going to put down overloaded constructor. We'll talk about what that means in just a minute. Okay, there's that one. All right. Now we can go back into here. We don't need that stuff anymore. We can grab these two things and put them in here, right below the other two, right here. Okay? And it looks like I didn't put a paren in there. So let's see. It says that we're using an older version, so we shouldn't use this. All right, so product, we'll do it like that. That's fine. All right, so now what we have in here are two different constructors. When you have the same routine, like a constructor, and it's in there twice, but it has different things in the parens, that's called an overloaded constructor. You can overload virtually any method in a C# program, not just or not only a constructor. All right, just so you're aware of that. We're going to see it as we go on. Okay, so that's the first thing. Since this one here requires no parameters, when you create products of that type, when you create them, you cannot have anything in the parameters. On the other hand, with the other one that we have there, which is this one, we have to put in two strings followed by a decimal. That's why in here, you see, a little hard to read, but two strings followed by a decimal. Two strings followed by a decimal. If I come in here and change these to 3, and run it again, there's the new stuff right there and right there. Clear it, exit. Yes, if I do it one more time and now make it 4, and run it, I now get all the product 4 information. All right. So that showed you constructors, and in particular, overloading constructors. Again, there's the defaults. I mentioned these before. If you've got a string with nothing in, it goes in as the empty string. Numbers are 0, booleans are false, chars and objects are null, and date is midnight, January 1st, the year 1. The name of the constructor must be the same name as the name of the class. It must be declared as being public, and it cannot have a return type. To code a constructor with parameters, code the data type and the name for each parameter. If a constructor doesn't set a property and the property wasn't initialized when it was declared, it'll be given one of these default values. With 7.0 and later, you can code an expression bodied constructor using the lambda, and I guess we could have done like this. Right now, I've said this to you before, that in my humble opinion, it is really, really, really important that you understand what you're doing. I don't feel the need to give you 3, 4, or 5 ways of doing the same thing. I'm more concerned with you being able to understand what we are doing. All right? So the next is static members, and something that's static can be used without creating a class. We've already done this. What do I mean? We've already used the math class without creating a math object. We've said like math.abs for absolute value, math.sqrt for square root, math.pow to raise something to a power, etc. All right. Now I'm not sure why they're using this one in here. but they're playing around with this line end. So they're going to make a public class that's called validator. All right. Now, maybe this will help your understanding. Maybe it won't, but I'm going to add this class. So again, let me bring it in here. Public static class validator. All right, public static string line end get set equal \n, so that will be our default. That will be our default line end character. Public static string is present, string value, string name, string MSG for message equal nothing. If value equal nothing, let's move this down. There we go. Message equal the name is a required field. And return message. All right, so we're creating a brand new class right there. All right, how do we do that? I'm going to come back into my project. You've seen me do this already before. First of all, I want to close that thing. And in test 9, I'm going to right mouse click, choose add, choose class. We're told this is called validator.cs. All right. And now it says internal class validator. Let's see. We want to make this public static class. Let me grab everything that we put in here before. Okay, I guess I didn't put, there it is. Okay, copy that. And I'm going to replace everything that's in here, all of this, with that. Now, don't worry, I may have keyed in something wrong or whatever. The other thing I want to change is where we've got product before. This should actually say public. All right, so I fixed that. That one is okay. There's no errors in here, so let me close that. Let's fix this one. All right, so public static line end. Well, what did I do wrong? We'll fix it. Static class, public static string, line end. What's this? That looks good. Is present. This equals this. Well, one thing I did not put in here was an ending curly brace. And that's gonna, so that is there, which means I probably have one too many curly braces here. Okay, like I said, give me a second here. We'll fix it. So, if value equal nothing, message equals name is a required field. See, we're almost there. All right, this. And I think we're missing a curly brace on the very end here. There. That's everything. There we go. So we've made a new class. And if that confused you, it's because I type like a moron. Sorry. All right, but I just literally took what was in the book. That's what that was. I took what was in the book on page 389. All right. Now, code that uses it, I could put this in. I'm not going to. All right. But I could add this code to my program. A static member can be accessed without creating an instance of the class. We've never created a validator instance. Okay. Static properties and methods can only refer to other static members or to variables declared within. That's what we have. A constant declared within public keyword is static implicitly. All right, one thing is that means you can use it without having to worry about creating a lot of extra stuff. Plus, you typically create constants at the beginning of your code, and you typically do that and create it at the beginning of your code so that it can be used throughout the entire program. If a class contains only static members, you can use the static keyword to declare the class as a static class. As it says, this prevents programmers from accidentally adding non-static member when they shouldn't. Okay? All right, so here's our product maintenance app. This is what we have been working on, but they're going to add to it. See this? All right. I'm going to keep, let's see, so this new product form, this is kind of what we have, isn't it? A code, a description, and a price, a save, and a cancel. So let's look. A code, a description, and a price. All right, we'll get rid of these. In fact, I'll leave that in there, but we just won't use it. All right, so let me go back to calculate here. And where we were filling that stuff up into that label, I'm going to remove it. Just so you see that. What that means is this will still work, but I don't have anything in here anymore. Okay? All right, so I'm going to use this one right here with the product code, product description, and product price. I'm going to use that code or that form for this. And then I'm going to create a new form that's going to hold this. So it looks like a list box, and we'll have 3 buttons on the side. So let me do that right now. Stop the run. Come into here. Come into here. I'm going to add a form. We'll just, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call it details. All right, I'll put here all products.cs. Okay, there that is. Let's make it a different color so that it sticks out. So the other one was kind of that orangish. We'll make this one a blue. Okay, there it is. It's got 3 buttons that I saw and a list box. So here is the list box. That will take up most of this. About like that, let's say. And we'll have 3 buttons. Just like that. Okay, So that'll be our second one that we get. It's got all products in there. All right. So we made the text all products, and the name will make FRM all products. Okay. All right. So that really should be FRM all products. Okay. So we've now got these two things in here. Let's look at what else we have in here. All right. There's also a confirm delete. I won't worry about that right now. This app retrieves product information from a file, displays it in a list box, even though we haven't talked about files yet. That's not till chapter 17. Displays it in the list box right here. When you click the add product button, it should bring this form up to allow you to add a new product. All right, and when you click the delete product, it should bring up this confirm dialog. It says, are you sure you want to delete it? Exit should exit. So we've got add product, delete product, and exit. Let's make this all bigger. This is probably going to be too big for what we have, but it's okay. All right. Make that bigger too. All right, let's take each one of these and make them bigger this way. There, so there's add product, there's delete product. Okay, so that'll work. All right, isn't perfect, getting there. Let's lock this. Now let's go back to our other screen that's here. We don't need these buttons anymore now. All right. Or if we do, what do we want them to say? Let's see. Save and cancel. All right. So what do we do? All right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things we can do, and I'll tell you what I am going to do. I am going to unlock everything. I'm going to move these buttons down. And I'm going to add two more buttons. They will be save and cancel. So this will be BTN save. And it'll say save. Oops, I did the wrong. Well, let's change this. Try this again. Name is BTN save. Text, I don't know how the heck I screwed that up that bad, but I did. That's save. This text should be cancel. All right, and the name should be BTN cancel. Now, I don't want to let the user use these buttons anymore. The calculate, the clear, and the exit. So I'm highlighting all three of them. I'm going over to enabled, and I'm setting them to false. Oops, I did not set them to false. There. So if I run the program again, you'll notice that these buttons, I got to fix those, but these are now disabled. You cannot click on them and do anything. All right, that's okay. I actually could disable this too, but it's not going to hurt anything to leave it where it is. All right, these I want to enable. Enable is true. Enable is true. So why did they look like they were disabled? I don't know. I want to do it like this. I want to do it in code. btn calculate dot enabled equal false. btn clear dot enabled is false. btn exit dot enabled is false. btn save dot enabled is going to be true, and btn cancel dot enabled is going to be true. All right. You can set stuff in your properties window. You can set stuff as well in code, and I'm setting it now in code, which means that back here, I'm just going to grab all of these, and I'm going to set the enabled on everything to true. Now let's see if I fixed this or if I made it worse. All right. Why are these showing up as being disabled? I don't know. Looks like everything here is disabled. All right. Did I make the form disabled? Looks like I did. There we go. Those are disabled. And again, we can disable this too. So now you can't do anything in here. Okay, so I'm just playing around. In other words, rather than moving this stuff and removing this, I just disabled these and this. So we've got that done. All right, we've got our other one here, which is here. All right, and let's see what else we have in here. Let's do that. All right, it retrieves information from a file, displays in a list box, adds, lets the user add or delete products. Okay, to add, you click the Add Product button. Then the user can enter data. Yep, alternatively, you can click Cancel. To cancel, to delete, you select the product to be deleted, and you get the Confirm box. Okay. So these are the classes, the properties, etc., that are going to be used in here. So what do we have? Well, we already have this product class. We have this already. We have the code. We have the description. We have the price. All right. We also have this, get display text. So we've got that. And we've got this constructor for default values. Everything we've got is there. All right. These things that are in here we don't have, even though we had looked at them in an earlier project. All right. But we've got this product DB class, and it says the code isn't shown in this chapter. Please refer to Chapter 17 for 2 versions of this class. Well, what I'm going to do, because I don't want to spend a year and a half doing this, I'm going to go and, for lack of better words, you could say I'm going to cheat a little bit. But I'm going to go out here. This is an older version of the book, but it should work okay. This is version 7 of the book, but I think it'll still work. This is all code that's available to you. Book applications, Chapter 12. Product maintenance, product maintenance. There's the product DB class that's right there. Okay, you don't have to worry about how this works for now. It just does. So we're going to create that in just a moment. All right, is there anything else? And this validator class. Now we already made a validator class, so I'm just going to go in. We've already got this, but I'm going to add these methods in here. Is present, is decimal, is within range, and is int. So I'm going to copy those, go over to my validator project that's in here right now, right there, and down on the bottom, I'm going to add those. Does not look like I've got any errors, except I might have the is present in there twice. I don't know. Okay, we already had that is present in here. So I'm going to remove, I don't know which one's mine and not, but I don't care. There. So that is now fixed. All right, file, save all. And we need another class, that product DB class. Now, I could copy it in, but what I am going to do is just come in here and do an add, go down to class. I'm going to make this product db.cs. There it is. And I'm going to grab everything that was in that class. So everything that's in here, copy it to the clipboard, bring it in here. Oops, bring it in here, paste that in here and see if I get any errors or not. I mean, rather than you watching me copy stuff, to me, that's ridiculous. All right, so I've now got, I believe, everything in here. File, save all. All right. We will go over this as it says in a later chapter, so if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. The code for the product maintenance app. All right. Again, I'm already 30-some minutes in here. And I'm on 395. I don't know what this chapter goes till. About 4:15 or so. All right, so I'm getting there. All right. Let's talk about what's going on in here. All right, because it probably makes little to no sense to you. All right. This is going to be our list of products. How do I know? Because it's a list, which is a type. We looked at that a little bit back in Chapter 8. It's a list of type product that we will refer to not as product, but as products right here. All right. And that's fine. Okay. And when we load it, we're going to tell it basically to go out and find the file with the products in it and put it into the list box. Fill it up for us. All right, so this is the code for the product maintenance form. When we fill it, that's exactly what it does. It clears out what was in there. Then it's going to go through the entire file and grab everything that's in there and use it to fill it up. The add is when we click the add button. The delete is when we click the delete button. The exit is when we click the exit button. All right, so again, I'm just going to grab this code for the product maintenance form. I think it's this one, but we're going to find out right now. Nope, it's not that one. Get the product save is valid. So this is the code we want in our new product form. All right. I think what I'm going to do for right now, at least, is I want to go over this. I want to go over the program with you. This is what's allowing us to add a new product. All right. This is the actual code. It'll validate everything that we put in there to make sure for the code that there's something in there because it's a string, to make sure for the description that there's something in there because it's a string, and make sure for the price it's a decimal. If there's any errors trying to do it, you're going to get an entry error. You can cancel at any time. All right, so that's the code for the new product form. This is the code for the validator class. We already had this is present. This will check and see, make sure something is decimal, and if it's not, it's going to come back with an error message. This will make sure it's an integer or a whole number, which even though we don't use that in here. This will make sure something is within range. So if we had, for example, the price of a book in a lower and an upper for a price of a book, we could use that. All right, let's see if we can go back and make some changes and actually get this to work. All right, so, and then come back to this more skills for creating. All right. So this new product form is what we are currently using in our program. I want to say that again. This new product form is our main form that we're using in our program. What do I mean? Why am I telling you this? What that means is I'm going to go back into here, and this thing that we have been using, not product DB, but our FRM OOP, this thing that we have been using in here, this thing. All right. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to comment out virtually everything that we put in here. All right. We may need this stuff. I don't know how I got all that, but I did. Let's see if we can get rid of that stuff. All right, so I'm commenting all of that out. All of this, labels, etc. I screwed up somehow. I screwed those things up. I don't want any of this code in here. All right, and all of these things are labels, everything that's in here. Oh, lovely. Yeah, these are those buttons, so that's, it doesn't like that. And there's going to probably be a line in there that it doesn't like for each one of these. So this is our calculate button. This is our clear button. This is our exit button. I think I've removed all the errors we have. And I believe now, I mean, what I'm doing is a lot of stuff I shouldn't be doing. We've got this product DB thing. That should be okay. But we want the code in here for this so that when we add a product, all right, it's going to handle everything we want it to handle. So let's look. This is our new product form. Here's the save. There's the cancel. Okay, so let me copy this. Go back to where we just were, right there. And at the top here, I'm going to put in all this code. All right, now I've got to use the same name, txt code. I called it product code. In fact, we'll use product code. You see how that goes away? Product. Looks like I may still have a couple errors, so let's fix those. Normally, I wouldn't combine two programs like this because what I'm doing is really not a good thing to do, but it's all right. Okay, just move this down. All right, I think all the errors are gone from there. All righty. I fixed the validator class. I have done the new product form, I think. Added the save, etc. Let me grab all of that. So that's the new product form. I get confused myself when I do too much of this. Probably, if I screwed it up, I'm very sorry. All right. There. Okay. Product, delete product, etc. I may have put the right code in the wrong file, so I have to look at that. This is the one I want. The product maintenance form is the one I don't think I have in there. So I think this is it right here. All right, there's list box they called LST products. We already have an exit in here. Don't know if it's going to complain. In fact, let's do this. I'm going to get rid of this. That should fix that error. We'll put our exit code in here in just a minute. This has to be called LST products. That should fix hopefully some of the errors that are in here. It did. FRM new product. Those are our errors right here. I called mine FRM OOP. Okay. Well, let's give it a spin and see what happens. I'd normally get rid of all this stuff, but I'd have to show you how, and it's going to take too much time. So let's save it and see what happens. Now, I do want the program that comes up when we begin. I no longer want it to be FRM OOP. I want it to be FRM all products. Let's see. I have no idea if this will work or not. All right, there's nothing in here, but let's add a product. All right, there's no, it should be giving the other one. Well, that isn't good, is it? So it is coming in, it is bringing this up. We don't have anything in add product. That would probably help a lot because it should be an add. So we'll change this to BTN add. Oops. Instead of add product, we'll change this to BTN delete. Instead of delete product. That should fix a lot of this. Now, I am going to show you very quickly. There's a lot of extraneous code in here that we don't need this stuff. Okay? I don't know if we removed it right now, if we'd get errors or not. So let's just leave it. So do a save all. Let's try it again. All right. Now, add product. Come on, oh, it's not supposed to be doing that. We don't have any products in here right now. So, I don't know what's going on. Let's see. There's no code in here. All right, that's the add product. So, this is the code we want to go in there. Change the name to BTN add, but what was in there before, oh, darn it. I think we're going to have to take our BTN add code that we had here, cut it, and put it here. And we're going to have to take our delete code that we had here, cut it, and put it here. Finally, I'm going to go back to what we had originally for our exit button. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to grab all that. Put that in here. There we go. Let's try it again. All right, so it brought up our new product. So let's come in here. We'll call this TS. Okay, that must be set up. These must be disabled. I think I did disable those. So let's exit. Yes. Let's come back into here. And those three fields, which previously these were disabled, have to be enabled. Or were they read-only? They're not read-only anymore. Okay. Add a new product. Okay. Let's call this test product. This is a test product description. The price will be $44.44. Save. Should have gone in there and it didn't. Save isn't working. Cancel isn't working. Not only that, those buttons should have been disabled. That works. That brings it up. There is no code in save. That probably would help. It's because I went and renamed things. I should have looked at what they called it in the book. I didn't. My fault. So under this save thing that's in here, let's do that. And under the cancel, where there's nothing as well, oh, let's look at it now. Add a product. Okay. Test, product, description, $33.99. Oops. Click save. All right, that's okay though. Object reference not sent to an instance of an object. Okay. Tell you what we're going to do. All right. And that is, I'm going to stop right here. I'm already at 52 minutes. And when I come back,